Hello again, it's me, Kate Robbins, sitting in for Nick Coffer here on Three Counties Radio. Lovely to have your company wherever you are on this fine day, whether you're relaxing, snoring, sleeping, working, eating, drinking, whatever you're doing. Hope you're having a nice time. I'm talking to Dee Clayton, motivational speaker, and coming up in the next hour I'm going to be speaking to Kim Osborne, who's from the Roald Dahl Museum in Great Missenden, and also I'm going to be talking to Jane Oppergaard. She's running a yoga event for kids. Yes, yoga for kids. And also, with 3 days to go to the start of the London 2012 Olympics, around 6,000 spectators are expected to arrive at Cheshunt Station. That is how you pronounce that, isn't it? On each of the 5 days of the Olympic canoe slalom competition, which is going to take place at Lee Valley Whitewater Centre in Hertfordshire from 29th of July to the 2nd of August. But meanwhile, back in the studio, Taming Your Public Speaking Monkeys is the name of a book written by the very wonderful Dee Clayton, who is a motivational speaker. And Dee, we've been talking about people having confidence to stand up and speak in public, but it's not just in public, is it? You teach people to generally communicate better.
Absolutely, yes. It could be kids presenting at school, but it could be business people in presentation situations, or lots of people lately are getting help with interview. They have to do a presentation at an interview.
Well, of course, with so many people going for so few jobs, the onus is on people to grab those jobs where they can. And you say you also teach kids.
Yes, I mean, it's not my speciality, but often I work with the parents, and they then want me to work with their children to help them to improve their confidence or different areas. So absolutely. And I think it's important for any parents that listening out there to start getting your kids okay with speaking in public, because it's a vital part of how the society is going.
But do you get to, when you look, you've got somebody who's got the monkeys, as you call it, which you're saying is another word for the gremlins, but we don't like to use that because it's too negative. Boo, don't say gremlins, okay. But you've got somebody who's got the fear of speaking publicly, and they're terrified to stand up and make some sort of speech of any kind. Do you learn about their upbringing, their background, the psychology of the person before you deal with them?
Absolutely, yes. So it might be that we could go 1 or 2 sessions without them actually speaking and standing up and doing any of the skills, because I think that's probably where what I offer is very different to other people in what you might think is a similar trade, is that I do the head stuff first. So I deal with the monkeys first, because it doesn't matter if I give you...
So you ask them, you ask them, what are you scared of? How would you go about it?
Yes,
look, I come to you, right?
Hopefully slightly more eloquently than
I come to you, right, and I say, Dee, I've got to stand up at work and do a speech about some course that we're going on, and I've got to tell all my other colleagues about it, and I'm terrified. I've only got to talk for like 2 minutes, but I'm terrified. What would you say to me?
Well, there's 3 steps to taming your monkeys, you'll be pleased to know. So I'd probably take you through those 3 steps. And the first one is to catch the monkeys, so identify what it is you're scared of. So rather than having a huge fear of presenting, even if you narrow it down to, I'm scared of everybody looking at me, or I'm scared that I might go red in the neck, or I might shake, or at least you're narrowing it down to what you are scared of rather than the whole thing.
Right, yes.
So that would be catching your monkeys. The next thing is connecting with your monkeys. So I worked with somebody, for example, who had a fear of reading out loud. So in church he wanted to do the readings, and some of them were at funerals. He really emotionally wanted to do it, but he physically couldn't do it because of the fear. And when we connected with the monkey, which is where you caught it from in the first place, the reason for being.
But hang on, Dee, just let me interject there. That's going to be such a different situation, isn't it, at a funeral, because you're so emotionally charged anyway.
Oh yes, on top of the fear. Absolutely. So it was a huge issue. And when you connect with the monkeys, you understand why you got them in the first place. So it's often, lots can be from well-meaning school teachers, a kid reading out loud in school.
Oh, they used to teach you, used to force you when I was young.
Force you to read, but then they go, no, that's wrong. So if you get a word wrong, they say, that's wrong. And then the other kids in the school laugh, and then they go, you're stupid.
I remember.
So guess where you get your stupid monkey from?
I know, and I remember everybody laughing at a girl at school who said the word mizzled instead of misled, and things like that made, and she had no confidence at all.
Absolutely. And we all make mistakes.
And so what was the third one you were saying?
And so then you challenge it. So once you've really connected with it and you realise that it was that particular monkey came from, a teacher at school, then you challenge the monkey and you start bringing in logic. Now, logic doesn't work earlier in the process. So when somebody says, don't be scared,
Yes.
how much does that help you? Not at all.
No.
Don't worry about it. That doesn't help either. But logic helps in the third step, which is challenging your monkeys, because then we go, okay, now you know it's a that school teacher. Is it right to be scared of speaking because of that?
Well, I'm going to ask you about the awards that you've won recently.
Oh, lovely.
Yes,
Thank you.
I mean, you can show off a bit now, Dee.
Oh, okay, great.
Come on, tell us, how many awards have you won?
Well, recently I won 2 awards at the FSB Hertfordshire Awards, and I won St Albans Business of the Year and an award for
FSB?
business. Yes, Federation for Small Businesses.
Thank you.
And I won Business Innovation as well. So my monkeys, you know, is a very innovative way of bringing what might be a very traditional sort of subject, public speaking, a very innovative way of bringing it alive.
And we were talking before about effective NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming. It sounds very, very complicated. But
Well, I'm the marketing director for the Association of NLP, and anyone who's interested in finding out more about NLP, please do go to the ANLP website and find out more about that, because it is a fantastic tool. It has fans, it has people who aren't fans, like anything, I believe. But
so there's the pros and the cons of it.
There's pros and cons of it, but it happens to be something that I'm passionate about. All of my clients have had success from it. So,
what about people's accents? I mean, does that matter? If I, you know, to go back to my native Liverpool, and I stand up and I talk like John Bishop, like that, you know, when I say, all right, everybody, you know, is that going to put people off? Is it better to tone down your accent, or do you not care about accent? It's the content of what you're saying.
I think it depends on who your audience is and what you're trying to do. So, building rapport is a basic skill in NLP, and building rapport is all about being similar to the other person. So if you know your accent is very different to your audience,
yes,
I'm not saying change it, but you might
I was going to say, if you talk to a load of Australians, you've got to start talking like that, mate, a little bit like that.
Absolutely not, but it is about making them feel comfortable. So if I had a very different accent to the people I'm talking to, I'd probably just point it out to begin with. Excuse my accent, sometimes when I get excited, I speak too quickly. So I just say to my audience, I get really excited and I speak too quickly, so if I'm going too quickly, just wave at me. So it's not that's a personality trait, or it's an accent, and I think that's
so
great.
It's about
but
empathy with your
you do have to point it out, though, because if you don't say anything at the beginning, they'll be going, where is that accent from? They won't be listening to a word you're saying. They go, where do I know that accent? There's a comedian that sounds like that. Oh, she's a comedian, you know. So you've got to, I think, bring it out in the open. Just say what everyone else is thinking. If you're particularly tall, if you're particularly short, it's great to say that. You know, make a joke of it.
Well, you're certainly a very confident speaker yourself, Dee, and you're a very, very fantastic woman. And you know, it's great. And congratulations for all the awards you've won. And thanks for bringing in your book, Taming Your Public Speaking Monkeys by Dee Clayton. It's been lovely having you in the studio.
Thank you very much.
And I hope to speak to you again in the future.
Me too. Thank you. Bye bye.
In the meantime, we've got some travel news coming up.